What's going on, crew? Welcome to this video. I didn't want to take the camera or anything. I just wanted to put it out there real quick as it's fresh in my mind. I generally believe it's going to be super, super helpful. Real quick, one of my friends, he's a business owner. He has a very successful business, and he was asking me for advice with some of his clients that are from previous versions of the program when he wasn't like 100% sure how to properly structure to and how to he was still refining the product, right? So he was asking me for advice, and I said, "Hey, yes, you can just hop into these calls and just try to end things in good terms and whatnot, or you can put it on you, reset the expectations, and give them a new trajectory for free. Give them a new trajectory and just commit for 3, 4, 5, 6 months free of charge, and that way, you know that whatever that happens, at least you've done your part. You've said, okay, my fault. I take full ownership. I'm going to give you another trajectory. I'm going to give you another chance. We're going to continue to work together." And then 3, 4, 5 months is just passed by super fast. And it was like, that makes sense. Yeah, I like the idea. And that way, I'm just never going to regret anything because I'm giving them way more than what they paid for. I was like, yeah, that's the idea. Cool, awesome. So then you need to reach out to all of these clients and you need to reset expectations and whatnot. And one of the things that we found is that a couple of his clients, they didn't want to get the help. They didn't want to continue the journey. They didn't want to recommit. And that was fascinating to me because to me, in my mind, I was like, oh, everybody's going to continue. It's free, right? This will just give you free service for another 3, 4, 5, 6 months, whatever that might be, free of charge. You know what I mean? And it will just continue to help you grow your business, whatever that might be. And there were some clients that were like, it was like, I don't want to commit. And when I was speaking with his team, I was training my friend's team saying, hey, you are not asking them to come back. You're just offering them that if they want to continue, if they want to recommit, they can do it free of charge. And we're going to put all these resources to them, all this service, all these people to their disposal. If they want to take it, great. Not great as well. But don't go and just ask them to come back, right? Because they are the ones that have the problem, and they are supposed to be the ones that they want to solve it. All right. And it was fascinating to me to see how the ones that had the right mindset, the ones that were still working towards solving these problems, they were 100% in, they were super grateful, they were like, oh, this is amazing. And then boom, they just re-engaged, they recommit. But the ones that didn't, all of them share something in common. And what they shared was, some people call it confirmation bias, some people call it lack of responsibility. It can just be a conglomeration of all of those things. But the point is that these people, consciously or unconsciously, they have already decided they don't want to be successful. They have already decided, consciously or subconsciously, that they prefer to stay in the mediocrity of the comfort zone is way, way more worth it to them. Again, consciously or subconsciously, the brain is a very powerful machine. A lot of times, at a subconscious level, there are just some big stuff from upbringing, from childhood, from whatever, where there's a subconscious part of you that literally does not want you to succeed because that would mean something terrible to you. Yeah, that can happen, right? But it's unconscious, right? Or they just believe deep down in themselves that they don't deserve to be successful. I don't know what it is, but the point is that, to me, doesn't make any sense, right? It's just there's someone giving you their hand saying, "Hey, I'm here to help you solve the problem." And they were in this weird and negative and bad energy and emotional frequency, like negative emotional frequency of entitlement, of putting the ball out, pointing fingers, like looking for reasons and wanting to feed the narrative of why they haven't been successful, why things didn't work, as opposed to how to make things work, how to find a way to continue, how to create, rebuild momentum, it was nothing like that. It was constantly a emotion of until I don't see XYZ, or unless ABC is this way, I'm just not recommitting. What is that? It's just like, how is that way of thinking supposed to lead you to greatness? It was fascinating to me. That made me reflect. And I came to this conclusion like, these people, they don't deserve to be successful because they are not fitting patterns of thinking, patterns of decisions, and pattern of behavior that make them deserve to be successful, right? Another example is, as a sales manager myself, I build sales teams, I hire people, I train them, I manage and monitor their results, right? And when someone is underperforming, I speak with them. And one of the things, I never fire someone out of the blue unless there's like something very obvious, right? There is like a grading process. There's a gradual process where towards the end, the person knows what's going to happen. That's the way I do it, right? So in the last stages of firing someone, the last thing that I do is I perform a PIP, a performance improvement plan. And I tell them, hey, we're going to do a performance improvement plan for this amount of time, and you need to bounce back to this amount of performance. And if you don't, we're going to have to part ways. This is your last chance, right? Going back, it's to create the exact same similarity with this story with my friend. Same happens with salespeople, with sales representatives, with high performers, however you want to call it. You give them one chance, you have a conversation with them, then you have another conversation with them, then you put them on a PIP. And even though you've set all these expectations, they just still decide and choose to feed the narrative, to feed the pattern of behavior of why they cannot do it, why, da 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 da, like justifying, complaining, pointing fingers out, right? And it's just not going to happen. It's just not going to happen. One of the things that I wanted to share with you in this video, because it's okay. Like we've all gone through that. I've gone through that myself. So there is no judgment here. There's no judgment here. It's okay if you are, or sometimes you catch yourself in these situations, whether you are aware or not, whether you're working on that or not. It's okay. It's just part of life, right? I just wanted to put this out there to see if I can just help you out, speed up that process. Because transparently speaking, it's just a recipe for suffering. It's just a recipe for feeling miserable, or whatever the time that it takes you until you evolve and transcend that negative energy, that l- lower level of vibration. So, what I wanted to share with you is number one, no one is coming to save you. What do I mean by that? Every time you expect something external to generate the result for you, every time you expect someone to come and do the thing for whatever reason, I don't know, privileges, you've paid for it, like whenever you expect someone to just get you to where you want to go, when you are entitled to an outcome, every time you are entitled to an outcome, it's like this needs to happen. You know what I mean? When you expect, when you just simply expect a specific result in all of these scenarios, you are signing a contract to be in suffering. You are is a recipe for suffering, a lot of exhaustion, draining, because now you are at the mercy of something that you don't control. Because expecting someone to generate a result for you, you don't have control over that. And being entitled to an outcome that is external to you, that you don't physically, literally have full control. Again, you're at the mercy of something you don't have control over. Expecting a specific result where you don't fully control the parameters, the panel, the control panel, the control remote, you are at the mercy of something external to you. Recipe for suffering. So that's what I mean by no one is coming to save you, is you have to be the one that just wakes up and with your hands, you take the problem and you solve it. And you do the actions and you feed the patterns of thinking, of behavior, of the patterns of thought, the patterns of emotion, the patterns of decisions. You do that. Stay away. And I'm saying this, and I'm even saying this to my younger self when because I went through this. So Paulo from the past, what would I would say to him? Stay away from things needing to happen, from neediness, from putting yourself in a place where it's, do you know what I mean? If it doesn't happen, it doesn't make any sense. Like, it's a lower vibration, it's a energy frequency that is going to make you live in a constant anxiety, in a constant suffering. Everything is going to feel heavier because you are the mercy of something you don't control. That's the thing. There is another level of vibration. There is another world. There's another way of thinking. There's another river, if you want to call it, where nothing needs to happen. You are a glass that's already full. You prefer things to go this way or that way, but you don't need it. You don't need it in order for you to feel in purpose, in order for you to feel a sense of progress, in order for you to feel that you are moving forward. You don't need it. Everything you have is already at your reach. You prefer this, you prefer that, but you don't need it. I know it's easier said than done. I know. It's a process, it's a journey. Not saying it's easy, but if you put in the effort and you intentionally walk away from this energy of entitlement, of waiting for someone to come save you, from you needing things to happen, from you wanting to, you looking for ways to guarantee your success, the perfect vehicle with guaranteed results, the easy way to feed this part of you that is ego, so that you can feel smarter, the smarter way, right? Guys, nothing that is worthwhile achieving comes with no effort, with no difficulties. I'm not saying that you should just climb Mount Everest as your first mission, right? You take calculated difficulties, but still difficulties. Stay away from these things. I lived a lot of time, a lot of time in that frequency, and I felt miserable, exhausted, and the journey was 10 times heavier. When you are able to step away from, okay, everything is my responsibility, everything is my fault, I am in full control. I don't expect anything from anybody, any partnership, you know, any hire, any team member, anything. Like, I don't need them. I prefer them to do what they're supposed to do. But if they don't, I'll move forward, right? It's key. It's life. A lot of times, life is a game of expectation, and I would just rather expect not the worst because I don't want to be negative, but be realistic, and I would just rather be reminded that those things can happen and be prepared for that. And obviously, I prefer if my team performs in if this happens or whatever, but I am prepared for the rough waters, for the rough seas, for the storms, because I know they're necessary to go to the next level. And here's the thing: when you are able, and again, I'm not saying it's easy, but when you, with the work, with intention every day, you work on this, and you are able to fully step into this frequency, into this world where you wake up every single day living on purpose, already thinking, behaving, and being in the state of mind of the person you want to become, where your glass is already full, and you're in your journey, you're in the journey, you continue to move forward, you are, you have this sense of fulfillment because you are in the journey to move, in your journey, you're moving forward. You don't need anything right now because you know that things are going to happen if you continue to move in this direction. Everything will play out. So you're just enjoying the journey. If you are able to step into that place, I promise you, number one is that there's no doubt you're gonna get there. That's number one. Number two, the journey to get there is gonna feel lighter. It's gonna be lighter because perception is reality. It's gonna be, and it's gonna feel more smooth. It's gonna feel better. Is You're gonna be able to enjoy it. You're gonna be able to look back and get the most out of it. And you're gonna build momentum way faster, way better. And every year, month, week, day is going to count in a good way, as opposed to just being an immense amount of sacrifices and nightmare. Sorry for the rant. Just wanted to share that, put that out there. Hope it helps. I'll see you in the next one.